Want to know how to make this custom pen loop that fits any pen you own because it's custom size? Plus, since we're using washi, you can do it in any cute design that you have. Stay tuned. Do you have pens that you like, but they don't fit in your pen loop? They just fall right out, and do you lose them? Well, I use pencils for the most part, which don't have that little hooky thing to keep them in the pen loop. So I've made my own pen loop that's custom sized to the pen I'm using, and it's made with washi, so it's super cute. The first thing I want to say about this tutorial is that I did not come up with this. I found it online years and years ago, and I went back to tell someone about it a few years after that, and it was gone, and I still can't find it. So if you know who came up with this idea, please let me know so I can give them credit. I'm going to give you this tutorial because it's really fun, and it's really neat, and it's really practical. So let's get to it. Okay, so all we need to get started is some strong adhesive, some bulldog clips, your choice of washi, and the pen or pencil that you're going to be putting into the loop. And before we start, I want to talk a little bit about your washi choices because it really does make a difference. If you see, I've got kind of a selection here. You want the washi to match. If you've got a colored one, you want it to match your clip. If you have a black and white one, it doesn't really matter because black and white goes with everything. But the thing that I want to talk about is the design of the washi. If you pick something that, well, washi is of course translucent, so you're going to be able to see through it. So if I line this up this way, I'm going to get black and gray stripes, or if I go halfway, it's going to be a different design, or if I want the black and white, I have to line it up exactly right. Now this is sort of easier with striped washi, but if you get into florals, it's going to be really hard to match things up, florals or this butterfly, which is so pretty. I'm so excited. This is the new botanicals from Simple Stories. The reason I'm saying this is because we're going to be backing the washi with another strip of washi. If I back this with another strip of this, it's going to muddy the design. You're not going to be able to really see. And like, this one you can see on the top, but then the other ones are sort of shadowing through, and it's really not as pretty as if it was just the design on its own. So I have a trick for that, and we'll get to that in a second. Next up is dark versus light. Now this, whatever I put behind it, you're going to see it pretty well if you double it up. Because it's dark, it doesn't get covered up as much as the lighter ones. It still does, but I'd say it's better than the other ones. Plus, if you have a dark clip, it's going to work really well. But with this lighter one, you can barely see the design, and if you use it on any color except for maybe white, even the white, I'm not sure how well it's going to show up. It's really going to get lost. For this project, I would go for darker over light, but if you really have a washi that's light that you want to use, go for it, but just know that it's going to be harder to see. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. We're going to use this as well. I'm going to show you my trick before I get into the actual process of making the clip. So what we're going to do is have a piece of washi as the loop, but since we don't want the sticky on the back, we're going to back the back with another piece of washi. So if I use this butterfly on top of this lighter washi, it's not going to get lost. The design is not going to get lost. You can still really make out the trees there, and it really stays true to the design. Okay, so let's get started. After all that, I'm going to take the black one and this is the side, and I'm going to use the butterfly, and I'm going to need this light one as well. You can leave the clip plain like this, but most standard mini bulldog clips are just slightly wider than your standard washi size. So what you can do is cover this up with washi so that it will be continuous and you don't have the black. You will have this little black lip here, but that's up to you whether you want the sides to be black or not. So the first thing that we're going to do is to make sure that we have a clean cut on the end of the washi, because it has to fit right up inside underneath that little lip. And then we're going to go around the edge of one end of the washi, the clip, sorry. We're going to cut it so that this side also fits right up under that lip. We're going to do the same. We're going to overlap so it covers the entire clip. The edge of the washi with the edge of the clip. And now the clip is all covered, and really pretty. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take our adhesive, and you need to have the adhesive just a bit narrower, there's my end here, just a bit narrower than the width of your washi, so it doesn't stick outside. And then you're going to center it in the middle of this side, and you're going to do the same for the other side. Wrong. Okay, now comes the tricky bit. So take your backing washi, the pen that you're going to be using, and the clip, and what you need to do is to measure a bit of washi that's going to be the length from the edge of the bulldog on this side around the pencil just to the edge of the clip on the other side. And you're going to measure it with the non-sticky side, because the less you touch the washi, the better, the more stickier it will be. This is a bit fiddly, and if you're a measurer, I'm sorry. I'm an eyeballer, so we're eyeballing this. So you're going to line it up here, and then see on the other side where you're going to cut. And this design is great because we have lines where we can cut. Just to double check. If it's a bit shorter, a bit longer, it's not a big deal. It's just basically a good estimate. And then set that aside. Sticky side up. Then you're going to take your design and you're going to just lie it out about maybe 2 inches. Again, put something on it so it doesn't roll on you. Then you're going to take this and you're going to line up those edges as best you can. Just anywhere in the center. We're going to measure in a minute. Okay? So then once you have that there, then again you're going to eyeball, because this isn't science, people. You're going to eyeball. You need to cut that little bit, because this part here and this part here are going to stick to the bulldog clip, and this is going to be your loop. So we're going to eyeball, I guess it's just after that butterfly, on this side. Then you can take off the adhesive and line it up with the edge. And do the same on the other side. There. Nice and snug, perfect fit. And now let's test it out. So you can put this anywhere that you have something to attach the bulldog clip to. So I'm going to put it just on this front insert. Doesn't come out. And there it is, a nice perfect fit pen loop made with a bulldog clip. If you like that tutorial, give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, because not only do I do tutorials like this, I also have videos that help you stay organized and also decorate your planner so it looks pretty like this. I'll link the video to this one. There's a surprise at the end, so make sure you stay to the end, and that link will be right there. Have a fantastic day and happy planning.